So I set up an API endpoint with an API that I've created that basically gives me authentication to Google Sheets, and I store that and actually throw that up into a Lambda function. Okay, and then I have a test action which runs, and I can grab some data out of that sheet. So basically all I need to do that is get the name of the sheet, the ID of the sheet, and then the tab that I want. So I can have different tabs with different information, and they're named, so these will be the named ranges. And then basically what I can do in here is like throw in the name of a range that I want, like A through E or whatever. This is just to sort of test it. And it will give me the information that's in there. So what I did next is I set up an API layer where I have the sheet itself behind an API, and I created a parameter mapping and deployed it out. So let's see. So now it's in the test stage, and I created this URL. There's an endpoint for the Google Sheet, which is that. So what I did was I went and I tested it in here just with Postman, so I can test in some a range that I want, so I can get like the first sheet if I want and send that. See, this is the text that's in the first one over here, welcome, welcome, see you later. And then the second one, if I just change that sheet name to info2 and send that, it'll go grab the data there. So what I had to do in Storyline was set up an API request, a post request called gsheet2, where I put in the name of the URL for the API, the post, and the body that gets passed in is application JSON, which is just the sheet ID and the range name. I'm also going to have this include an API key so that we can keep separate what people are doing. And then some variable mapping. So here, if you get the data back like this, it comes back in an array. So item 0, 1, 2, and 3, will come back. So 0, 1, 2, and 3, and then the way that we call this is we set up some mappings, and you have to use this like double curly brace to grab that. So you make first a call to the API, and then you can use those values after that. So then if we do test.
Hi, this is the first item. This is the second item. This is a third item. You guessed it, it's a fourth. This is the second item.
And that's basically it. So after that, you can pull out values anywhere you like. So that is the basics. And so just to kind of test to see how this works, let's try it with a new spreadsheet. I'm just going to give it a different name. And I'll put in here. You can do different things here. So let's say, you can, however you want to set up the data and use it. So this, I'll just call this one info. And in this one, I might want to create like a bunch of different strings that get read or whatever. It's up to you to decide how you want to set up your data and how you want to call it out. Okay, so I'm just going to create just a couple pieces of data here, and the name of this. Okay, so what I need. So this is a theory. We'll see if it works. I need the sheet ID. So I'll go back into my API requests, and I will give it a new sheet ID. And for the range name, I'm going to want to grab the info tab, and I'll just get everything that's in A through E. I only have 2. And these are called whatever you want. So these are your variable names. So I'm just going to give them, these are the variable names that you're going to use inside Storyline in the curly braces. So I'm expecting back just a list of what's there. And so I know there are 2 items. I'm going to use these in here. Okay, good. So this is going to grab everything that's in that range. And now let's just modify this. So it just gives us back these 2 items. and let's try it. See if this works.
Hi. Welcome 1. Welcome 2. Welcome 2.
It totally didn't work. So let's find out why. Let's go check out API requests. And this is the sheet name. In info A through E. So let's try this in my little test and see what we can do here. Okay, so this came, oh, whoops. Maybe this will be better. Task timed out. That's interesting. So I wonder why. Is it because it's a brand new sheet? Let's see. Let's try that ID again. Well, the tab is called info. That makes sense. So this is the sheet ID. JSON. Okay, it came back just fine this time. So maybe it just needed time for this sheet to get up there and get created. So let's try this again. And make sure I have the right sheet ID in here.
Hi. Welcome 1. Welcome 2.
Oh, the name of the variable, I changed it. That was dumb. It would have worked. Okay, so it's message 1 and message 2 I changed it to. That was just really stupid. But that's what happens in the world of Dave. So it's obviously not going to let me read out a variable that I don't have, so let's give this a shot.
Hi. Hello, sweet user.
There we go.
This is an awesome voice skill. This is an awesome voice skill.
So it read
Hi.
message 1, message 2, and then repeated message 2. So you can see how you can just extend that. You can create, different tabs that have different menu items, for example. And then what you would have to do is set up API requests. You would just use this model, and that would work.